friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is a full face of old makeup. Did my makeup, chit-chatted, all that fun stuff. So anyways, without further ado, we're just gonna hop in, play with some makeup. Hi friends, how's it going? Let's hop into this full face of old makeup. I did already prime. I used the e.l.f. Liquid Putty Primer. I've been revisiting that one recently and I like it. I forgot how just like smooth and lovely it is. It's a really, really nice one without like drying me out or anything. For foundation, I'm thinking the Rare Beauty Skin Tint would be nice. I haven't used this one in a minute and I really enjoy it. I just haven't used it in a while. Just added a little glob on there, you know? And I'm just gonna kind of blend it out. But how's it going? What's up? What's new? How's life? I went on a nice run this morning, and then for my second channel, I filmed a little like body care, skincare, fragrance collection and declutter sort of segment. So that was very cathartic. So that vlog should already be up by the time this video goes up. So if you are interested in anything like that, go check out my second channel. It's in my description box. For concealer, I want to use the Urban Decay Naked Quickie. I haven't used this one in a while. I feel like I'm also never going to run out of this. I feel like every time I pick it up, it feels like it is full. Like it's never going to run out ever. In filming that like, you know, skincare and fragrance collection and declutter sort of thing, mostly just because my shelves were a little too full. And I definitely had things that I knew were either very old and unusable or just things I simply didn't like. It definitely has me thinking that I don't really need to buy anything skincare or fragrance or body care related for a while. Not that I have an overwhelming surplus, like I don't have a million like backstocked things, but even just what I have is gonna last me a really long time. Now, not in like an extreme mindset kind of way where I'm going on like a crazy strict like no buy situation. Personally for me, I just don't feel like that's a situation that would be healthy for me. I feel like, I don't know, I'm just better with portion control as far as shopping goes rather than a complete cutoff. But yeah, just kind of as a mental note, I'm like, I don't need to buy anything else in that category for a while. The only exception might be I might pick up one or two more like mini Kylie fragrances over the year because I am slowly trying to collect more of them because I just love them so much. But beyond that, unless I actually run out of something, I think I'm set. I'm gonna go in with some liquid blush before I set down. This is Encourage from Rare Beauty. One of my favorites. I haven't used this one in a while and I was kind of feeling a mauve blush today. I figured I would do kind of more of an under blushing sort of vibe. I know this isn't exactly under blushing. That technique, you do that before you put on like foundation and stuff like that. But I am doing it before I put on powder. So in Betty Jean standards, that's still considered under blushing. Don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna top a powder in the mix as well. But I feel like I've been on a good track so far of still trying out new things because I do like to test out new things for you, really. I mean, for myself too, I do like trying out new makeup, but I also do like to be a place where you can make your own decisions on if something new seems like it'd be something you'd like. So that's why I like to test things out. But I also did want to find a balance with playing with more old stuff. I didn't never play with old stuff last year. Like I still incorporated, you know, full face of old makeup videos here and there, or I'd play with something old on like Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or something like that. But I feel like I've really been finding a really good balance where I'm kind of doing a good mix of both. And I'm pretty proud of that. If you're on Instagram, I've also started incorporating singles a bit more, which has been really, really fun. That was one of my goals this year as well, is to play with my singles more. So I started a little mini series where I'm doing like little build your own palettes, but like bookish edition. It's been really fun. I'm taking like book covers that I've really enjoyed the covers of and creating little build your own palettes out of them. It's been very fun. Unfortunately, that's just like not a category of video that I can really do on my channel. Like never say never. I'm sure I'll do them again one day. Possibly, we'll see. But as it stands, that's just unfortunately historically not the types of videos people click on my channel, but on Instagram, it's been going really well. So if you're ever on Instagram, you can go check those out. You don't even need an account. You could just like go to the web browser for BATTYBEAN and look at it if you're curious. But then I've been creating little looks here and there based on those palettes that I've created, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a really fun, just creative outlet for me. For powder, I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Halo Glow. Yeah, I've just been thinking a lot about just like, you know, the overconsumption of everything lately And it's tough. Like, society is constantly like screaming at you to buy more, more, more. And I feel like I've never been a major shopper in the sense that I buy things constantly, but I do feel like I can be more conscious of it for sure. And just like really focusing on like, is this something I actually need, or is this just something I want in the moment? And it definitely becomes a fine line when you're someone like me who's a creator on YouTube doing makeup and stuff like that, because I do acquire products from brands, which I'm very thankful for, but I am definitely going to try to make an effort this year of maybe just being a little bit pickier with what I use. Like, just because I got it sent to me doesn't mean I have to use every single thing, especially because there really isn't enough time in the day, especially if I also want to continue revisiting old stuff, and it's really tough. It's a tough balance, even just from like viewers and commenters. Like, I get both sides of it. Like, people want to see more, new, but then I also get comments of people wanting to see old stuff. So it's a tough balance, but I feel like I'm trying really hard to get a good handle on it. I really don't know why I even brought this up. I guess it's just on my mind lately of just, I don't know, trying to find a balance. Cause like, I don't want to cut myself off from any new thing ever, but I also just want to also enjoy the things that I already have. For the perimeters of my face, I'm busting into my classic NYX High Gloss Finishing Powder. I'm gonna use this big fluffy brush that was in the Lethal Cosmetics and Dexter collection. Just gonna dust this across the perimeters of my face to kind of set any other liquids down, you know, but also keep a glow. I guess this is a good example. I know e.l.f. came out with a pressed version of the Halo Glow Powder, which I have been wanting ever since I tried the loose version. But at this very moment, I still have 2 of these because I like hoarded them back when it was getting discontinued. So I still have 2 of those. And I have the Melt pressed powder, which also has a glowy finish. So in my heart of hearts, I don't need a new glowy powder right now. I need to actually run through these first. So that's just something that's on my brain. Again, I'm not giving myself strict rules as far as like what I am or am not trying. It's just a matter of being conscious about like what I have and what I'm using. I want to use my Fenty Into Sun bronzer. Look at all that pan. I'm not a project pan kind of person in the sense that, again, strict rules. And I feel like in the past when I've like really forced myself to try to just focus on one product and use it up, I learned to get sick of it. I start to hate what I'm using. So I don't like that project pan mentality in the sense that I can only use like this one bronzer forever. Even though I probably could, it is one of my favorites. But maybe I will try to just put a little extra effort into this too. I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts? Obviously, it's a very fine line, especially like from a creator's perspective. Because if I wasn't a creator, things would be very different. Like, I would not own necessarily the extent that I own currently, because I am in this position where I've worked really hard and built up a following and relationships with brands where I do get sent things, which I'm very grateful for. But I would not be buying the amount that I have now. I've even encouraged you guys as viewers to like, don't feel pressured to own every single thing. Like, me trying out and testing out a bunch of things for you isn't because I want you to buy every single thing. I really don't. I want you to just use your brain and look at your collection and think about your preferences and formulas and really focus on things that you think are actually going to add something new to your collection. Even if I try something new and I'm like, this is amazing, I love this, it doesn't mean you have to have it too. Especially if you're like, yeah, I like the look of that too, but I have something similar out of these 3 palettes that kind of reflect that palette. Does that make sense? I did forget how pretty this bronzer is though. It's just so soft and nice, and I feel like no matter how much you add, it just keeps looking better. For powder blush, I'm gonna take one of my Lethal ones. What are you called? This one is Ornamental. It's really pretty brownie mauve shade. I'm gonna use this one from the Lethal and Dexter collection. Not usually my go-to shape for blush, but I used it yesterday when I filmed with the Dexter collection, and I really enjoyed just the way it applied, so I figured I would use it again. I feel like I get sucked into stuff too, like I'll see, you know, just like an aesthetic video on like Instagram or TikTok, and I'm like, oh, I need to own every single thing in this video, but then I have to take a step back and I'm like, no, I don't. It's all just smoke and mirrors. It's just this curated thing to make it look really good for this, you know, aesthetic like day in my life type of thing. Real life isn't like that, and we don't need to own every new thing all the time. I also enjoy just like loving things that I've already had and kind of re-falling in love with it, makeup or otherwise, you know, clothes. I don't shop for clothes very often. When I do, it's something that I feel like is really special. And I'm happy with that. And I mean, to an extent, even if I wanted to, I'm not rich. I could not afford to buy every single thing that caught my eye anyway. And I'm not somebody who wants to do that. Like, I don't want to like spend all of my money on just material possessions. Like, I want to focus on, you know, my home itself. I want to focus on future travel. I want to focus on just my future in general. Stuff like that. My cats, though, I will buy them every cute toy that I see. They definitely are the spoiled ones in the family. I'm gonna do my brows really quick, especially because at the end of the day, it's all just material possessions. It doesn't matter. I feel like, I don't know, your home environments, your mental health, your physical health even, your relationships, like that stuff matters just so much more than things. And not to say we can't enjoy things. Like, I don't feel like you should be demonized just for enjoying, you know, things. But there, again, just needs to be a balance. It all comes down to balance. I feel like a lot of people see things in very just like black and white and very absolute, but it doesn't have to be that way either. Or even, I've used this terminology for years, but it's okay to admire things from afar. It's okay to see a new makeup item, clothing item, decor item, and think it's really cool or really pretty. But you don't have to own it. It's cool to just think it looks cool. We don't have to own every single thing ever, as much as society likes to pressure us to. I'm going to add my little freckles now. This is just my Nabla freckle marker. And I'm just gonna, I don't know, just add a couple little cuties. Nothing crazy today. I feel like too, especially just where the economy is right now, like there's so much uncertainty of like what the future holds. And it's scary. And I don't know. I want to just be prepared for the worst, for the future. It seems silly to like, I don't know, care so much about frivolous little things when there's like so many bigger things at hand, just in the world, in the country, everywhere. Use this little throwback, the Kaleidos Gifted Highlights. This one is so pretty. Every time I use it, I'm like reminded just like how gorgeous it is. I feel like this is one of my favorite things about doing these kinds of videos where it's like full face of old makeup. I just like really rediscover things that I love and like things that have survived, you know, many a year, many a makeup collection and declutter. And it's like my whole complexion, I feel like looks so nice because these are all things that I enjoy and have kept. And it's just, it's so fun to like re-fall in love with things that I already own. I'm gonna set with my Freck face hack and we'll move on to the eyes. All right, moving on to the eyes. I wanted to use a bit of a throwback. I included this in my winter favorites video and I've been itching to use it again. This is my Lethal Cosmetics Evergreen palette and it's still just so pretty. I'm really inspired by these two colors today. I think I kind of want to do sort of a halo eye where I kind of focus on these two and then this being like a really fun pop in the inner corner. I don't know, feeling wild and crazy. I'm gonna use my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer to prep for this look. Just going to blend it out and then we will start going to town. So for the matte, I'm basically just gonna use this like purpley shade. I'm gonna use this little pencil brush from the Lethal Cosmetics and Dexter collection. And I'm just gonna focus this on the inner and outer part of my lid. Just gonna get that sort of laid down. Get a little bit of a foundation started before I start blending and then going in with my shimmer. So cute, I love that color. I want to do the same to that lower lash line. I think I want a haloed lower lash as well. You know, I do think I want actually a little bit of a V'd, like wingy shape in the outer corner as well, where it kind of flicks outward. I think that'll be nice. Tuck a little of this in that front portion of that lower as well. And then I'm just going to take a teeny bit more and I'm going to take this blending brush from the Lethal and Dexter collection and just start very softly, like I'm not using a lot of pressure at all. I just want to lightly blur the edges of this shade just to get it, you know, diffused before I start going in with that shimmer, adding in the halo. This is honestly going to be a pretty simple look in the sense that it's not going to take a lot of shadows, but it's going to have a lot of impact and look very colorful. This is already very cool. I just love this color. It's so fun. I'm going to take my Bad to the Brow and Clionadh Shine On Primer. I know this is not an old product. This is pretty new, but it's just the glitter primer that I've been using recently, so that's what I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna take that shade, that kind of like mauve-y teal shifty shade almost. It's very fun. I am gonna put this, I guess, just over my entire center of my lid because I am gonna use something else sparkly in the very center to brighten it up even more. Wow, that's really cool. I do feel like Lethal Cosmetics shimmers have been stepped up greatly over time, but they were always really good, honestly. So the fact that they've even gotten better is pretty impressive. I like this combo a lot. Makes sense that they're, you know, right next to each other in the palette. I'm also gonna take some on the tip of my finger. I'm gonna kind of look up and press it underneath just for a little bit of a sparkly, almost like sparkle tear sort of thing, where I have that very like sparkly moment happening under my lower lash line. I think that's all very, very cool. I like that look. Quick little halo with only 2 shadows. Can you believe it? I am going to take my Hummingbird shade from Menagerie. This is one of the Moonlit Metal toppers. One of my goals to myself this month. In the spirit of using things up, I've been using one of these in every single look. So I'm gonna start by just like drawing a little line of it down the center of my eye, and then I'm gonna take my finger and just lightly pat it to kind of blur it a little bit so it doesn't just look like a stripe. But I do want that intense spotlight right in the center. Yeah, you see that? I think that's pretty darn cool. Oh yeah, when the light hits it, it's just so bright and beaming. I'm gonna take a little bit of this underneath the center of that lower lash as well, just a little bit. And I'm gonna kind of tippy tap underneath just to blur that out as well. Now, if you happen to be recreating this and you like this as is, you could totally leave it alone, maybe do the same thing in the inner corner or just some sort of highlighty shade. But again, I do want that yellow. I just think it'll be cool. I think it'll be fun. So I'm just gonna take this little Clionadh Bad to the Brow brush and I'm going to just very lightly, I don't wanna blend too much because purple and yellow are opposite on the color wheel. So if you directly blend them together, they will kind of muddy out and turn more neutral, and I don't want that. I want them to stay very vibrant. So I'm just doing light little pats. Oh, that's so cool. Very bright, fun, funky yellow inner corner. That's super, super cool. Okay, here's where I'm at so far. I did throw my mascara. It's not particularly old, but I only have 2 mascaras open because I don't have a million open at any given moment. So I used my Milk Makeup Kush High Roll Mascara. Then I did pair 2 pencils together because I didn't really have something to exactly match that inner corner, so I kind of mixed to get similar. So I used the yellow one from Oden's Eye with Chartreuse Flash from NYX and just kind of layered them until it was close enough. It's not perfect, but it's fine. And for lips, I thought I would do a throwback and play with a lip clay from Kaleidos. This one's in the shade Rose Fire. I feel like this pinky shade might look really cute. I don't know if it's gonna match perfectly. I might end up having to change course a little bit, but we'll see. I actually kind of like it. It's like way pinkier than the eyes, but I almost feel like this like fuchsia-y purple with the yellow and then this shade of pink on the lips. It actually works really nicely. Yeah, I actually really stand by this pink lip. I think that's a really fun combination of colors. Thanks so much for being here and for watching. I think this came out so good. I just love all the fun colors. I think it plays together so nicely and it's very cheerful and happy and I'm enjoying it. But yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on the makeup I used, my look, what we talked about, all the things. If you made it to the end of this video, you know, leave some cat emojis. Because animal prints. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm BATTYBEAN there as well. And you can also subscribe. I'm posting most days over here. Also, if you want to, you can hop over to my second channel. It'll be linked to my description box if you want additional content. And you can also join my membership. Also linked to my description box. There's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks and I would love to have you. Thank you so much for watching and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.